Okay.
Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Prize Podcast, a podcast where we talk Marvel comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I'm your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen,
Representing the cat sitting competition, the Vacuuminator is here, and he's a bit annoyed that they've changed the YouTube player yet again.
it's not. I like the general layout
Eh, it's
overall.
just the actual player thing doesn't stay up when I hover above the mute button, so I have to keep moving my mouse so I can mute after I'm sure that our audio works. And also, they hid the add to playlist button. It's in a sub menu now. That's stupid.
Nah. So hey, Vac, you're in a different location.
Yeah, I'm house sitting for a friend of the family because their cats still have to eat. I believe that is Rosie behind me.
Mm.
There's Rosie and Piper is around here somewhere. The only way you can tell them apart is Piper has a white patch right under her neck.
Bring back community captions. Yeah, bring back community captions. There is a third-party application that you can use.
Kevin, you're out here with the good references, I see.
Yes. I just wanted to mention that you're in a different location, so it's not just like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, next week I'll be in an even differenter location.
Oh my god, are you going to be in Canada?
I'm gonna be in the same room as this chuckle fuck, and we're gonna be able to do this kind of shit when somebody says stuff and the other person doesn't agree with. It'll be fun.
Oh, legit.
Look
We're probably
forward
just
to
gonna
it.
go full Three Stooges routine.
Yeah, because Snowcone 83 will be joining us. Because
And Snow Cone's bald,
yeah,
like Curly.
how about that? Oh, that's exciting. I'm
Wise
looking
guy,
forward
ain't
to
ya?
it. Yeah, I don't know Free Stooges super well, but I know enough to keep up.
Yeah.
I'm not super well versed in Free Stooges
Uh,
lore.
Vax House is sad taking a couple weeks off of module. Yeah, the regular module depression break.
Yeah, my action figures, they all just needed a mental health break.
See, here's the thing. I think your action figures need to unionize for being prop decorations.
Yeah, but right now they're just tax write-offs.
Wait, you pay taxes? I'm kidding.
Sometimes.
So, we've been talking about Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, and we both kind of figured, let's take a moment before we start season 2, give ourselves a little bit of a break from that show, start up a different show in the meantime, before major MCU and now DCU content starts coming out.
Yeah, because we might actually pay attention to new DC releases going forward. Oh my god.
Yep. It's DC Universe, right? That's the movie. It's not DC Cinematic Universe.
It's just DC Universe. It used to be the DC Extended Universe, but since Gunn and Safon, I think is his last name, took over, they've officially rebranded it to just DC Universe, which is a bit confusing for me because that's the name of a mobile game, that's the name of a MMO, that's the name of the comic universe sometimes, but what the fuck ever.
And Marvel and its Civil War, Secret, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Though, hey, the new card game Marvel's been has out now is Snap, and it's fun.
Oh, nice.
I've been enjoying it greatly. But no, we're talking about the original great superhero cartoon, Justice League. In fact, this can't be Justice League. There's no Black Adam.
Fuck off.
The comics have told me Black Adam's a part of the Justice League, an integral member.
Jesus Christ, next thing you're going to be telling me is Cyborg is your favorite Justice League member.
No, it's Hippolyta.
Really? Because I love Naomi. She's my favorite.
Ow, Jesus. Oh, fuck Bendis.
Fuck Bendis indeed. You know, I almost read the first issue of his new indie book this week, and then I literally looked at the cover for 5 minutes straight and just went, fuck it. And
I Here's the
closed the
thing.
window.
The salt. Yeah, I'm salting him. I'm just like putting salt on the
You have
wound.
no idea.
Yeah. No, actually, I thought about reading it. I look at the cover and went, "Oh, that looks a little interesting." And then I opened it and I was like, "Oh, wait, it's Brian Michael Bendis. Yeah, fuck that."
But no, I love Bruce Timm's Justice League cartoon. It is the show that got me into not just DC, but superheroes in general. It was the first like true traditional Western superhero piece of media that I really paid attention to as a kid and tried to follow. And I didn't actually see all of it until years later when I became obsessed with YouTube, as everyone in our age bracket can relate to, and it was still in the days of part 1, part 2, part 3. And I watched it all that way, and I've gone back and watched specific episodes since that watch through, but I've never done a full watch through since then. So I was very excited to do that for this show, especially because I hadn't seen Secret Origins since that part 1, part 2, part 3 watch through.
Which would have been like
And
part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7, part 8, part 9.
yeah, and I don't know why, but for the longest time, I thought this episode just wasn't that interesting of a premiere. I thought it was like, it's a basic ass Justice League origin. Who cares? Get to the good stuff. But going back and watching this, yeah, no, this is a great Justice League origin. This might actually be my favorite of the Justice League origins I've checked out, depending on whether you consider the New Frontier to be a Justice League origin.
Here's the thing. This is a very big summation of just Justice League origins.
Yeah. It's got a little bit of everybody in there. It kind of works in a good solid moment for everybody to shine, but there are clearly the central three players who bring everybody together, that being of course the Superman, Batman, and John Jones the Martian Manhunter.
Genuinely, this show is why I'm a big fan of John Jones.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic in this show. And you know, I didn't even realize until like just a month ago that his voice actor in this show, that's the dude who played Isaiah Bradley in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason why a lot of people headcanon John Jones to be black-coded.
Mm-hmm.
Which he really should be more often than not.
Yeah, he just Carl Lumbly is his name, and he just brings this perfect, calm, smooth, deep stoicism to Jean's voice. Mm-hmm. So much so that, like, and it's true for a lot of the DC characters that appear in this series, but this is the voice I hear for John Jones when I'm reading John Jones dialogue in a comic. In fact,
yes, Buster's right. John Jones does take on the appearance of a black man in this show. But I'm just saying...
He does sometimes. The first time we see him as a human, I think, is in the Christmas episode, and he's a white dude in that.
But oftentimes he does take on the appearance of a black man, but his original version, he takes on the appearance of a white guy. And New Frontier, he takes on the appearance of a white guy.
Mm-hmm. It really just depends on the artist's interpretation, because remember, he's a freaking space alien. He can look however he wants to.
Yeah. Speaking of looking however he wants to, his Martian design is hype.
Oh yeah, it's just like perfect classic sci-fi big cone-headed alien man, and I love it.
And I love their gas masks later on because it looks like fucking Sandman's mask a little bit.
I can see that. I was just thinking general kind of World War II illusions.
Oh yeah, no. Overall, it's just a good look. Casting director for the show, amazing talent for the animation. Oh yeah, no. Casting on this show is amazing.
I think it's Susan something. Andrea Beaumont. She did the casting for every DCAU show and the voice directing for most episodes. She is an absolute legend in the voice acting community.
I mean, the perfect voice for Superman, the perfect voice for Batman, perfect voice for Martian Manhunter. I would say the perfect voice for Flash. Wonder Woman will
Well,
become the perfect
Wally West Flash.
Wally West, the perfect voice for Wonder Woman eventually. I think this episode she wasn't totally comfortable in the role yet, and it fits
Mhm.
for Wonder Woman who's not totally comfortable in man's world yet.
Yeah, because this is also like partly a Wonder Woman origin, which I had forgotten that, and so I went to look into that a little bit while I was watching the episode. I completely forgot. Before they made this show, they pitched to the network a Wonder Woman animated series, and the network wasn't going to go for it. So they just snuck the script they already have for the Wonder Woman pilot into this.
But also Jon Stewart
Mm-hmm.
and Hot Girl.
Yeah, Philomar and Maria something or it's the fucking lady from Modern Family. Y'all know her as that.
Yeah.
And Susan Eisenberg is Wonder Woman, and pretty much everyone in this cast is who I hear when I think of these characters. The only exception, and I know this is fucking crazy talk to some people, Kevin Conroy is not my Batman voice. I much prefer Bruce Greenwood from Under the Red Hood, but Kevin Conroy is still a great Batman.
A female cyborg sidekick. Oh no, I don't. I've never seen that.
Oh yeah, that's a piece of work.
But this is very much. It takes okay. You know how repeatedly while watching Earth's Mightiest Heroes we'd go, "Oh, this is just the Marvel version of the Justice League cartoon." It takes these big elements and sums it up in a fun little bite-sized package for a cartoon.
Well, this is where that originates. This is
Yeah.
taking stories like The New Frontier, like the original Justice League origin. I mean, yes, it's not Starro the Conqueror, but it's a very similar kind of plot to that original origin
It's still
with a
very
similar alien force.
it's still very like communist themed alien force.
Crazy, overwhelming odds that give all the league to a chance to shine and interact, and it even harkens back to that original Justice League or run by making Batman a part timer, out and out, and having him disappear for a huge chunk of the story.
And there's also elements of Grant Morrison's Justice League run in this. Like their start of the Justice League.
Where it's got to be about dealing with big threats that they can't deal with separately, which will become a crutch for this show a little later on. There's a sort of notorious thing in the pre-Unlimited seasons about how they kind of almost always come up with excuses to get Superman out of the plot, so he can't just fix everything right away, which is lazy writing in my opinion, but I understand why at the time that seemed like the best way to approach things.
The best way to like challenge Superman is to make it a problem he cannot punch. He cannot
And the
laser
problem
it.
is if it's a big team dealing with a big problem, most often the solution is going to be to punch it.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like you know what I mean.
Yeah. But here they do a pretty good job of that. Like in moments where he would just swoop in and fix everything, he's incapacitated by psychic attacks, or the aliens are able to find a way to hold him for a few minutes. You know, it's all very well played and smooth here.
Yes. Just overall great. This is also like peak 2000s era Tim stuff where he
Yeah.
loves like the techno organic elements that he played in with Batman Beyond and Zeta Project.
Everything's very, very slim and sleek and idealized, but it's not overly sexualized like it will become in like the direct to DVD stuff. And I really like how there's still very much a lot of like new computer animation done, and like certainly there are large CG elements in here. There's still a lot of traditional hand-drawn painted backgrounds and stuff you can see in here. Heck, the way they make the big mothership look like it's flying is they're literally just sliding a cell across a background, which is classic animation trick.
Oh yeah, and also whenever like the painted people in the pods with like the very subtle light on their face not being diffused by the pod.
It feels very organic and appropriate for the mood of the scene. It helps set that kind of creepy tone.
Mm-hmm. Just a lot of little good elements. I thought for a good few minutes that the journalist that was throughout the episodes was the fucking creeper. He isn't.
Nope. Snapper Carr is a different character. He is a reporter that's in a lot of DC comics, but I don't think he's ever had any powers or a superhero identity.
But like, I just heard that voice and was like, "Oh, is that the creeper?" No. He sounds like he'd be the creeper.
You know who that voice actor is, though.
I can't remember his name.
That's James Marsden.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big names will appear over the course of this show that you're like, whoa, that person is in this? Like, friggin' Michael Rosenbaum is Flash at the same time as, like, Smallville is just getting off to the races. How crazy is that?
Playing two iconic DC characters. And the show will even reference it later on.
Mm-hmm. And like, we were talking about this on Components the other night. I don't dislike his Lex Luthor, but I vastly prefer his Flash. It fits him much more as a performer, I feel, especially now listening to the podcast he's been doing the last couple of years. He's just much more of a jokey, fun guy.
Mm-hmm. One thing I also just really appreciate with the alien designs is they're technically coming from Mars through meteor showers, and their big weapons are tripods.
It's all a big War of the Worlds reference. Isn't that fun?
And I love War of the Worlds. That's one of my favorite books.
Mm-hmm. I meant to tune in to hear you read it the other day, but I was just busy that night.
Yeah, it's fine. But I just
you're gonna archive that shit, right?
Oh yeah.
All right,
it should be going live on my VODs channel soon.
All right, everybody subscribe to Boingo Rider VTuber.
But genuinely, this is like top tier, simple comic book writing, just animated.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I would possibly change about it is, like, I do think it would have been nice if they could have seated GL and Hawkgirl in one of the earlier scenes before they show up to help, kind of like how they did Flash, because you get a brief appearance by Flash during a news broadcast. And of course, Wonder Woman has all her origin bits, but Hawkgirl and Jon Stewart just kind of show up and are like, "Hey, sorry we're late."
Did they show up at all in, like, Superman the Animated Series?
No. Actually, there was a Green Lantern episode of Superman the Animated Series, but it was Kyle Rayner.
Okay.
Yeah. There's an episode in Superman the Animated Series called In Brightest Day that's just it's a super abbreviated version of Kyle Rayner's origin story.
Fair enough. That's weird.
Yeah. Flash, and it was Michael Rosenbaum. There's an episode of Flash that's literally just the stock plot of Superman and Flash have a foot race for charity.
Which is always that's always the fun thing. Like, I love when adaptations of comic books do they play the moves, you know? They hit the high spots, like in a wrestling match.
Yeah, it's the purpose of adaptation should be to get people interested in the original material, and in order to do that, you have to play the hits.
So, like, DC doing the Superman and Flash foot race, which, even though we can shit on Justice League all we want, just that little bit of them joking around and the freeze frame of them going into the live action movie.
Yeah.
It's good. And, like, if we're talking about Marvel, it's Captain America teaching Iron Man how to box.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or another moment I brought up last night on Components. Listen to Components this Friday, everybody.
Yeah.
The scene in Infinity War where I don't think it's rooted in anything comics, but it just feels like such a comic book moment where Cap and Black Panther run ahead of the rest of the army.
Mm-hmm. There's several, like, here's the thing. They did do the moment from the comics that I would say is, like, the iconic moment of Captain America, a regular human-ass person, walking up to the Mad Titan
Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't bring that up.
You know, like little moments like that are always fun to see. And I wouldn't say there's a ton in here, but like the moment of just like everybody on the watchtower coming together and
Hmm.
go like, we're the Justice League.
And Batman's just like, I don't play well with others, but if you need help, you can call. There's a freaking Superman Jimmy Olsen signal watch in this episode. I forgot about that. That's such a fun reference, especially
Oh
because
yeah,
I don't think they did that in Superman, the animated series. It's just Superman goes like, "Oh, hey, I have this now. Batman, you want one?"
it's such a good like fun little bits.
By the
Oh,
way, I love that they don't make a big deal out of Superman shows up to help Batman right at the start. We already did the world's finest free parter. These guys know each other now. They're gonna help out every once in a while.
here's the thing, Buster. I disagree. Jimmy Olsen should have his own HBO Max show.
Yes, I would so be down for that, especially if it's like
Full,
adapting the 50s Jack Kirby shit.
just full on crazy wackadoo bullshit.
Mhm. Or no, not 50s. Jack Kirby wrote Jimmy Olsen in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, because it was about 69 when he left Marvel.
Nice.
Nice. Pay disputes and contract negotiations. Scissor me, daddy ass.
Oh, dude, we're gonna scissor at the summit. It'll happen.
But yeah, Justice League Secret Origins.
It's a fantastic premiere, highly underrated. I think now that I've had a chance to rewatch it.
Also, I don't know if it's the same design in the comics. Best Watchtower design.
No, the Watchtower for a long, yeah, you know it, Buster. For most of the time in the comics before this, the Watchtower was often depicted as like a moon base with a dome over it. But this kind of tried to modernize it by making it the satellite thing, and that would later be adopted by the comics. And I vastly prefer it being a satellite. It just makes more sense to me.
Because yeah, you can modulate your own gravity. You can't do that on the moon.
Yeah.
Uh, just and you can see all the elements that they're going to be playing with later on in the show too.
Mhm. I mean, there's even seeding for the Cadmus arc, which isn't until like season 2 of Unlimited, with the general at the end going like, I still don't trust this Justice League. I don't think they're on the up and up.
You can watch modular media while modulating your gravity.
I always modulate my gravity, baby.
Gravity modulation. So, do you have anything else you want to say about the show, or should we dive into some news?
Well, before that, I do have a recent acquisition to go over because just before I came over here, Amazon.com made a special delivery to me. Uh, the Emissary of Hell is now in my collection. I have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man from Toei in the 1970s, and it's a fantastic little figure. It's not renew your vows level super articulated, but it's pretty close, and it's going to be able to do all the poses you want this version of Spider-Man to do. And I love this sculpt. It looks dead on to the suit from the show. And accessories aren't half bad either, because he has those kind of like posing wall crawling hands, but he also comes with a pair of fists, and he comes with a bunch of web effects that I've never gotten with a Marvel Legends before, and are really nice, better than I actually expected them to be, because in the renders they looked semi-translucent, but they're actually opaque white, which I much prefer for Spider-Man webs, and is probably more accurate to that show because I'm willing to bet they just used rope.
Rope.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
no, it looks like a good ass figure.
yeah, the only nitpick I could possibly have with it is I forget if it has a special name, but the morpher brace transformation device thing doesn't actually flip open. It's just static piece. But they at least wrote I don't think my focus is going to be able to get it, but they wrote Spider-Man on there, which is cool.
Nice.
Mhm.
It's always good to see like the weirdo versions of Marvel characters getting cool figures.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be the only Marvel Legends to not end up on my Marvel Legends shelf. It's going to go on my Tokusatsu shelves with my Light collection and SH Figure Arts figures.
Fair enough. I mean, that's where it's supposed to go. Goes with its family.
Mhm. Though I probably will take some pictures of Takuya hanging out with Peter and Miles at some point.
Yeah. I wonder how many people got that figure just because it's a Spider-Man and not knowing the true history and how important he is.
Well, it's an online store exclusive, so I think it'll mostly be gotten by people who specifically want it.
Fair enough. I'm just opening up some news. If you give me just a moment.
Sure. Uh, how's everybody else doing tonight? I'm doing okay. I've got most of my work for the summit done. I just need to kind of finalize my lecture and whatnot. I tell you what, though, I brought my own food over here because I didn't want to dig into the homeowners' stores, and I'm already running low, so I might have to make a quick run over to the dollar store tomorrow morning, Hilton, tomorrow night.
Mm.
Mhm.
You could always get some boigas from the Boiga King.
That's fair. I could go back to work at Burger King, in fact, Lois.
All right, hold on. I just got a few more web links to open up because there's a fuck ton of news this week.
Hmm?
All
It
right.
was a busy week, and believe it or not, there's actually even more news on Twit than we have for this show.
Jesus,
Because it was Godzilla Day this last week, and
Here,
everybody announced new Godzilla merch.
well, here's the thing. I also imagine your this week for Twit is also going to be a little bit lighter because you don't have to talk about Dawn Brothers and Geats.
That's true. It might still balance out. We'll see.
So first things first, we have some news about Black Panther because hey, it's coming out this week and we'll be watching it on the Sunday before we do a No Prize podcast.
Yeah, the first thing is just like apparently the movie was actually originally very different because up until the very end they thought Chadwick Boseman would make a recovery and Ryan Coogler actually offered Chadwick Boseman about a week before he passed away to be able to read the script before the studio gave him notes, and the story for that version was that it was going to be T'Challa dealing with having been gone for 5 years because of the snap and kind of the mental toll that would have taken on him and the people of Wakanda while he was gone. And it's pretty clear that the story has been massively overhauled since then. Mostly, I'm guessing it's going to very heavily be about the people of Wakanda dealing with T'Challa's in-universe death.
Yeah. What I find interesting is just the fact that even this original script is about mourning.
Hmm.
It's about mourning the time lost, and now it's about mourning a man. And so that's just like it's fascinating that Ryan Coogler was able to like capture that idea before all this happened, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see how that final product ends up turning out. Especially because we also got revealed thanks to a Marvel Studios producer this week where exactly the movie takes place in the MCU timeline, and apparently it's Love and Thunder and Quantumania are all supposed to be happening around the same time.
Mm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we'll see get morning time lost, but it's just more of like it's fascinating that he was already locking into that concept and then tragedy happened, you know.
Yeah, it's and like apparently Boseman like he refused to read the original script because he didn't want to get in trouble with NDA and he didn't want to get attached to anything the studio would ask Coogler to change.
And was the article where you talked about the timeline.
Yeah, like it's a bit of a overdone article, but basically the gist of it is just like according to Marvel Studios' current thought process, Wakanda Forever, Love and Thunder, and Quantumania all take place at roughly the same time.
Which is fine. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
comics happen all the time. It's like these books happen at around the same time in just different locations.
That's why these characters didn't show up to help each other. It makes sense.
You know what also makes sense?
What's that?
Sony pulling out all the stops to make sure the next Spider-Verse movies are successful. Because Across the Spider-Verse is going to rumored to feature two beloved Peter Parkers, Tom Holland and PS4.
Yeah, they've apparently and again, this is rumored, but it's coming from a reliable source. Tom Holland and the voice actor for PS4 Spider-Man have already recorded lines for the movie. I'm Yuri Lowenthal, Buster points
Yuri
out in the chat.
Lowenthal? What about Yowie Lowenthal? Come on.
They're gonna get him for Beyond the Spider-Verse, but I'm pretty sure this is going to turn out to be true, and I'm also pretty sure it's going to be for one scene tops, because there's so many versions of Spider-Man that are both rumored or confirmed to be in this movie. 2099, Ben Reilly, Cyborg Spider-Man has an action figure floating around out there, and ever since it was announced that we were getting a sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, people have been speculating that we were going to get this guy in that movie. So we'll also, see what happens.
What was the other one? There's another one. Spider-Punk.
Yeah, Spider-Punk. He's been on some marketing materials and whatnot. So we'll see what happens.
What do you mean Cyborg Spider-Woman?
Oh, they gender bent Cyborg Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell from the blurry figure.
But thank you for the correction there, Buster. Yeah, Across the Spider-Verse is just shaping up to be an absolutely insane movie, and I am here for it.
So next up, we have some casting announcements for Agatha, Coven of Chaos, which is the spinoff of WandaVision. So first things first, we got Aubrey Plaza.
I'm not super familiar with Aubrey Plaza. I know she's a very popular actress right now, and a lot of people know and love her from Parks and Recreation, but I've not watched that show, and she's only popped in like minorly in a few things here and there I've seen. But I'm sure this is like huge news to a lot of people, especially because she's supposed to be the villain of this show.
Depending on what character she is, she could be really, really fun. No hint of who she'll be.
Yeah, just a villain is all we know, and it's pretty much the same for the other castings. It's just these people will be in the show, and the rest of the castings are people who I've never heard of before. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Joe Locke, he looks like a guy who's been in like a drama, you know.
He looks like he should be on the set of Stranger Things right now.
Yeah. Oh, that's not actually a bad. That's actually not like for an adult Wiccan.
Yeah,
he's not bad for an adult Wiccan.
And he's got a decent fit.
Yeah, he can do an adult Wiccan. Alian and Maria Diza.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Who would you guess they'd be? Because they're probably going to end up being very obscure characters.
Probably going to be involved in magic. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. It's gonna be an interesting show to check out, especially because it's purely happening off of fan demand. It seems.
Yeah, though I don't know what they could be doing. Here's the thing, though. Okay, you've read some Doctor Strange, haven't you?
A little bit here and there.
You know the recent librarian character in Doctor Strange?
Zelma?
Yeah, Zelma. Aubrey Plaza could do a really good Zelma.
She could. Yeah.
What if the thing is she's the villain for Agatha, but she's actually the good guy?
Yeah, there's like a post-credit scene where we just see her walking back into the sanctum, all fucked up, and Benedict Cumberbatch cameos to just go, "What the hell happened to you?"
If the teenage girls are happy, I could care less. Teenage girls deserve shows.
That's very pessimistic and cynical of you, Buster, but I guess.
And it looks like this might be fun.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think that's all for the casting stuff we got.
As far as Marvel goes.
No, first Agatha goes. Because there is a rumor that a certain person is going to be playing a key role in Wonder Man, and that's Bob Odenkirk.
All the freaking Breaking Bad fans that have been flipping out over this and going like, the man's career is ruined, has been the funniest thing this week, especially because it's not even confirmed, and he's probably not actually playing Wonder Man. He'll probably play a side.
No, we already have
in
Wonder
the
Man
show.
cast.
Yeah.
He's the black guy.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the actor's name. I just know they casted a black man to play him.
Yeah, that is Saul Buster.
It is Saul Goodman.
That is indeed Better Call Saulman.
I'm just trying to think of who he could be playing in the Marvel that could be related to Wonder Man. Because I can't think of any like Hollywood characters that could be important.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know enough about Wonder Man. I couldn't fucking identify Wonder Man when he cropped up in Earth's Mightiest Heroes, so who am I to comment on this news?
Yeah. Wonder Man's also not like... Okay, if Moon Knight is a B tier Marvel hero, Wonder Man's a C tier Marvel hero.
Oh yeah, Wonder Man is Marvel's Plastic Man. If you like him, you love him, but if you don't care about him, he's so obscure to you that he's a joke.
If he just plays a lawyer, if he plays Wonder Man's lawyer, that would be the dumbest best thing ever.
Not a lawyer, but a similar type of character. He should be Wonder Man's sleazy Hollywood agent.
Yeah. Okay, it's DC, not Marvel. You know DC's like Stan Lee parody character?
Funky Flashman. I was about to say
he could play a Funky Flashman.
Yeah.
I love how DC just literally has a character that's just, look how shit Stan Lee is.
Look how angry Jack Kirby was in 1970.
and DC just keeps using him.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, Zaslav defends the Batgirl cancellation in Marvel and HBO Max cuts.
Yeah, there was a lot of news coming out of DC's, or rather Warner's quarterly earnings call. It's hard for me to say stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one of the big things was this huge, kind of taken out of context quote from Zaslav, which was basically, we didn't cancel anything that would be harmful, that wouldn't have been harmful to us. Basically saying, like, a lot of people took it as he thought Batgirl was going to flop. That's not what he meant. He clarifies in like the very next thing he says that Batgirl no longer fit their vision for DC movies moving forward, and it so happened that it coincided with their need to save money and get those tax write-offs, and that's why the decision was made. And honestly, knowing that now, I can better understand and empathize with the decision. I still don't agree with it because so many people put so much work into that movie.
And you're still making Flashpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's just like the remnants of trying to fit the multiverse into the Snyder shit, then I kind of understand. But not
I don't know.
It's a mess.
Flashpoint is going to be an interesting thing to talk about when it comes out.
Oh Jesus, hell yeah, it is.
That's gonna be the first 5-hour episode of No Prize Podcast.
But basically, Warner Brothers Discovery is to focus on franchises like Superman and Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. This was the other big thing that came out of there is Zaslav is still very insistent about like franchises are the future of Warner Brothers. He really wants to get DC up and off to the races, and he's trying to salvage what's left of Harry Potter, and is also teasing more Lord of the Rings stuff because there's so much of that left to mine.
I mean, yeah,
Uh,
there is. There's a Silmarillion.
but like they put so much of the Silmarillion into the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what the fuck you're gonna do except like maybe Tom Bombadil the HBO Max series.
Yeah. Focus on Superman, nice. Focus on Harry Potter, fuck you. Here's the thing. If it were up to me, I'd make a sequel to Harry Potter that completely ignores the Forgotten Child, or whatever the fuck that is,
Mm-hmm.
and makes the new protagonist a trans woman.
Here's the thing. You can still salvage Harry Potter. Harry Potter can still be a great, entertaining, and interesting series. Just fucking stop working with J.K. Rowling.
Stop
Because
working with J.K. Rowling and acknowledge the problems inherent in the text.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing that came out of this that really bothered me is they still have a contract to take creative consultation from Rowling, and they're apparently considering renewing that in order to ensure the future of the Harry Potter franchise. And I'm like, my dude, if you renew that, you're going to ensure the end of the Harry Potter franchise because this thing is not trending upwards.
No. No. I don't know. I also just think there is more people who have been soured on Harry Potter than there are still who like Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm. Even when like literally everyone out there who's not J.K. Rowling but has worked on the franchise has been going like, yeah, she's just crazy. We don't agree with that. We like trans people here.
Here's the thing: it's all Warner Brothers has is Harry Potter and fucking DC.
Mm-hmm. Though, like, another thing is apparently at some point during the quarterly earnings call, Zaslav mentioned trying, because I remember this was a thing back when he first took over, people were making fun of, but apparently he is actually trying to get Sex and the City back up and running as a franchise, and I'm like, how the fuck would that even work?
You could make it about a new set of friends in New York.
Potentially, yeah.
And I mean, here's the thing: my mother watches Sex and the City because she's a Gen X woman. Of course, she's gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, no, my mom and my sister used to watch Sex and the City all the time when I was a kid.
Um, and they did basically like this. They did basically continue it with them in like middle age, and one of them realizing that they're bi
Hmm.
in like a weird way. I don't know. There's directions you can take it because ultimately what it is a dramedy series about four working women in New York.
Fair enough.
Same way that like technically How I Met Your Mother is just Friends again.
Yeah, it's just Friends for millennials, isn't it?
For elder millennials.
Yeah.
I don't know what Friends would be for like Gen Z. I don't think they have a sitcom yet, like their sitcom that defines an era.
I mean, like, yes, it came out before their time, but like, I see Zoomers talking about The Office all the goddamn time.
This focus does not vote.
Buster just said The Office in the chat.
I would say maybe, you know what? No, it's The Office. It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like Brooklyn Nine-Nine I can vibe with. I haven't seen a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I've seen enough episodes to know I dig that show.
And just so you know, everybody, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is not propaganda. There's a difference between propaganda and a show starring cops.
Yeah.
Because it shows them being fucking idiots and not like, and how some of them shouldn't be having their job just being protected.
Mm-hmm. Next, like, fucking, don't try and tell me Hill Street Blues is propaganda. That whole show is about how being a cop is a fucking nightmare.
And they shouldn't be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Community might count too. I don't know. But yeah, no. Warner Brothers is doing things. It's going places.
It's still not in the best place possible. Zaslav still seems like a strict stepfather who came in and enforced a whole bunch of new rules on us.
You
But
know what it feels
at
like?
least your older siblings are cool.
It feels like Warner Brothers now has their Michael Eisner.
Mm-hmm. But our Kevin Feige, who I would equate to our older step siblings, are actually pretty cool.
So yeah, they hinted at what some of their plans are apparently.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going forward that they've basically just been putting in a ton of work where they're really trying to dive into what makes DC great from a child's perspective, because they both grew up as DC fans as children, apparently, and they're really focusing on what has already worked in the movies and trying to build off on that, which I assume to mean like they're doing stuff people they're building off of stuff people liked, like the first Aquaman and things like that, and obviously Shazam and Black Adam's doing really well at the moment.
The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. Mm-hmm. So like understanding of like, oh, people like these characters to have a fun edge, but not necessarily be joke machines.
Yeah. Where's the Defunct Land series on Zaslav? Wait another 20 years.
Yeah. But also, we got a cute little joke of how James Gunn and Safran settled their differences. They play Rock'em Sock'ems.
Apparently, this is an actual photo from when they were working on the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker, and I just thought this was really cute, so I snuck it in here.
Yeah. See, this is the kind of energy DC needs. It's not big grand myth making. It's, hey, we're just having fun trying to tell fun stories.
This is the same energy as that photo of Jim Lee and Dan DiDio eating Burger King and McDonald's in response to Wendy's making fun of the DC Twitter account.
That. We also have Shazam! Fury of the Gods director has finished the final cut.
Yeah, basically the movie is done and it's ready to come out, but they're just gonna wait because that's the way it is. They don't have the money to release it until next year. So the director and the cast who aren't working on other projects at the moment basically get a big vacation until the press tour begins in the spring.
Yeah, but hey, final cut, it's gonna happen.
If Cody has a Rock'em Sock'em robot set, we will definitely do that at the summit.
So Midnight Suns is a game that's going to be coming out sooner rather than later. We have some Ghost Rider showing up.
Yeah, look at this gameplay footage. Is it neat? I don't know. I don't know video games.
Fights. Earlier, I mentioned that you'll.
Yeah, it's a card-based tactical RPG, and it is.
Are you excited? Are you gonna play it on stream?
Maybe. I don't know.
Midnight Sumbitches, yeah!
Also, Marvel announces 2023 FCBD titles, teases new Avengers X-Men team.
Yeah, we all know that the Avengers are about to get a bit of a reshuffle because Jason Aaron is finally leaving. And obviously Free Comic Book Day will want to do something to promote that. So we've kind of got a bit of a tease here. This isn't the official team, obviously, because they're using Captain Krakoa on the cover. But there's going to be an Avengers X-Men special issue of Free Comic Book Day, as well as several others. I actually really like that Marvel went ahead and announced their Free Comic Book Day issues so early. Usually I don't find out what the Free Comic Book Day books are until like week of.
Yeah, so what we got is Avengers X-Men, which is a fun-looking cover. It's Captain America leading Psylocke. I can't remember her name. I can never remember her goddamn name. Deadpool, Quicksilver, Rogue, and Captain Krakoa.
Monette.
Yeah.
I
can't remember her hero name, but it's Monette.
Yeah.
Monet.
Yeah, everybody calls her Monette.
Monet.
Monet, whatever.
It's French.
She's fucking the money dopant from Kamen Rider Double. I know that reference.
We also have Spider-Man and Venom, which looks hype and fucking sick.
Hopefully it will be fun and not just, hey, read our books.
I don't mind. Like, the more I'm seeing Spider-Man Goblin eyes, I don't mind it. Deadpool and Rogue on the same team? Oh, why oh no, they're friends.
Here's the thing, I wouldn't mind that costume if it didn't come with a glider. The glider feels like too much to me when he can still swing.
Yeah. I like it as like a backup. I like it not as the main default form of transportation, but as, oh no, I'm falling from a building. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, like they used it that one time.
That's good though.
Mm-hmm.
But also that Venom fucking slaps. I like wet Venoms.
I too enjoy Spawn.
Marvel Voices, a new issue of Marvel Voices. I have been enjoying Marvel Voices and Marvel Pride, which are just regular one-shots they do of a bunch of different characters.
Yeah, I haven't read all of them, but most of the Voices and Prides have had at least one good story in them a piece, and I think it's really smart that they're putting one out for Free Comic Book Day. Like, that's an excellent marketing tactic.
Mm-hmm. A Marvel Spidey and His Amazing Friends. It's cute.
It's one for the kids, and really Free Comic Book Day is about the kids. The whole reason it exists is to get kids and casuals into comic book stores for
it's for the children.
Mm-hmm. It's like Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang's for the kids. Would be more cool if wasn't still in the comics. Yeah, you're not wrong, but also like Free Comic Book Day at your library? Well,
oh, that's neat. I've never heard of that happening before.
So hey, Marvel's also doing a big crossover with Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, not so much an actual in-universe crossover as like this is the same thing as what happened when they got the Aliens license a few months back. They are going to be publishing Planet of the Apes books. And so to celebrate, they're doing a bunch of crossover covers on regular books. And just here all of them are, oh goodness, aren't they wacky?
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Like, some of them look really neat, but like, I like Planet of the Apes, but I don't like Planet of the Apes enough that I would want to get Planet of the Apes comics or grab these.
They did the Wojak face with the orangutan man.
Yeah.
With silver,
Sure
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of they're beautifully done. They're good covers. Dave and Buster's mean the Marvel Universe. Yeah, they look good.
The Marvel Universe, also known as Boingo and Busters.
Boingo and Busters.
That's what we're gonna call our ice cream store when we eventually open it.
Well, I mean, I've had an idea of like basically making for lack of a better way of describing it, a members only subscription arcade. Where you like pay $10 a month and you can just have access to the arcade.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Because like the only remotely good arcades we have here, unless you live in a big city, and by here I just mean the United States in general, are Dave and Buster's, and Dave and Buster's is kind of a toss-up whether you're going to get a cool one or a shit one.
And that's only on the East Coast. West Coast have some better ones because there's a heavy Japanese population over there, and they bring over their arcade culture.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say like big cities. Like I know LA and New York have some really good like family-owned arcades.
But hey, this is just more fun. Rob Liefeld is selling the first Deadpool drawing he's done.
Yeah, the original sort of sketches for Deadpool's first appearance in New Mutants are going to be going up through one of the bigger auction groups. I forget what it is. But this is kind of a big deal because for a while, Liefeld himself thought he lost these. And of course, Liefeld being Liefeld and a '90s image guy, as soon as he found them, he went, "I can make some money off of these." And so they're going up for auction, and any comic collectors out there with a ridiculous amount of cash will be able to get their hands on them.
I just want to say though, looking at this art, Rob Liefeld knows what he's doing. He just has, like, it is just not art that can be easily inked and colored. Because you can see what this is. It's very focused, it's sketchy, it's meant to be just very abstract and evocative. But you can't add detail to it and make it solid.
Yes, but my good sir, I'll see that, and I'll raise you, where are his feet?
At the end of his legs. But hey, Marvel's not the only one getting cool crossover covers. DC reveals a Spawn crossover covers.
Yeah, because Spawn Batman is happening. There's going to be a bunch of Spawn DC character crossover covers, and they all look exactly as ridiculous as they sound.
Yeah. I like how Poison Ivy looks like a Spawn character on the cover.
Yeah, that's the only one that I'm like, that actually kind of works. But at the same time, I wouldn't go out of my way to get any of these. The Nightwing though, the Nightwing one, which I don't know if it's actually in this article because I noticed there were a few missing from what I saw on Instagram. The Nightwing one is just fucking hilarious because it's Nightwing doing a backflip and smiling like an idiot while Spawn's just standing there being grim and.
Spawn getting bitches? I mean, here's the thing. Of the bitches that he poses with, one of them is in a semi-committed relationship with Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
One of them's a bisexual disaster who's currently broken up with her girlfriend.
And one of them is a
it's the ex-girlfriend
who's currently broken up with her girlfriend. And one of them is a warrior woman who would kill him in 2 seconds.
And then there's Batman, who, I don't know, maybe they cuddle.
I could see it happening.
Spawn's just a straight friend to all the gay bitches.
Considering the, like, forever alone tone of his actual comics for most of the time, that makes sense.
But also, hey, guess what? Vault Comics, which I haven't read many things from, but they're an independent publishing. They're not part of the big two. They're not like a sub brand or anything. They're making some things. I know they have some popular stuff going on.
Yeah.
It's making a graphic novel line with Metallica and Pete Wentz and more. That seems to be from just, hey, are you a musician who likes comics? Come make a comic.
Yeah, it's a really interesting concept. There's nothing right now that's particularly like, oh, I have to check that out, but it's a thing they announced this week, and it seems like it could lead to very interesting results, I'd say. And I knew you're the big music guy of Modular Media in my mind, so
hooray, more atop the fourth wall. Potter.
I figured Boingo might like to know about this.
Here's the thing. Part of me just thinks this is like the executives going like, huh, that Gerard Way guy keeps making good comics. What if we got other rock stars to make comics?
I forget Gerard Way is a musician. I only really know him for comics.
Yeah, he's from My Chemical Romance.
Mm-hmm. But hey, at least this isn't Kiss putting their blood into ink for comics yet.
Yeah, no. But also, just real quick, that logo, beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's really nice. Really,
beautiful
really
design.
Aesthetic.
Beautiful design.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, guess what? I Am Groot is getting Hot Toys.
Yeah, this was a bit out of left field for me. I'd heard nothing about this, and then just all of a sudden it went up for solicitation this week, and like, I get it. Baby Groot is popular. It was like the highest selling toy for like a year and a half there. But to do a Hot Toys based off of these shorts, which I'm pretty sure we're the only people who talked about them, seems a little knuck and futz in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if you want a big wacky Groot toy with a bunch of wacky accessories and looks, you can dress him up like a baby doll for $5 million bajillion. Here it is, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to what the accessories. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Let's
the
just
accessory photo is usually last.
it's fine, whatever. These shorts except for you in my areas.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, look at all that crap.
Yeah. It's marketable. It's marketable. You know what's
Do
also marketable?
you do you think Baby Yoda happened because of the success of Baby Groot? I feel like they're unrelated, but I could
I feel
see
like they're
that
unrelated. I
conspiracy.
feel like the marketing for Baby Yoda afterwards is partially inspired by Baby Groot.
Probably.
Because that's the big thing that happened with Mandalorian is Mandalorian happened, everyone wanted Baby Yoda merch, but there was no Baby Yoda merch because they wanted to keep it secret.
Mhm. And the same kind of thing happened with Baby Groot initially, because Baby Groot's only in like the last couple minutes of the first movie.
Yeah. Hey, you know who's also marketable?
Who?
Pretty people. Like Pretty
Mhm.
Boy.
Yeah, Dan Yoon of the Marvel Legends team posted some in-hand photos of the upcoming Pretty Boy figure that we've talked about a couple times on the show before. And as you can see, it's much skinnier in hand than it looked in the render. But I actually feel like that really works in its favor. Like I think I said this before when we talked about the initial reveal. I don't know anything about the Reavers. I don't give a crap about Pretty Boy as a character, but I love the design of this figure. I want to get my hands on it just to mess with this sculpt.
Yeah. It looks really good.
Pretty Boy and the Reavers are 80s characters, I believe, Buster.
Yeah.
It
Like
was
late
during
80s,
the
early 90s.
X-Men Outback era.
Then
That's
yeah,
where
that's
like
late 80s, early
the
90s.
torn up bikini rogue look comes from that era too.
Yeah. But hey, guess what? McDonald's is making Black Panther toys.
All right.
Aren't you excited
Yeah, sure.
that McDonald's is making toys about a movie which is essentially about grief? Random Twitter user cameo. Eh.
Hi, Shining Justice 4. Welcome to our nightmare.
Hey, we got some new DC Direct
Buster,
statues.
you should make Sonic Frontiers toys.
We got some DC statues.
We sure do. Yeah, Todd's basically just continuing DC Direct as a statue imprint, bringing in various artists and sculptors because if there's one thing Todd loves, it's statues. Just to look at every action figure he made before he got the Fortnite license.
Question: when has Batgirl ever been a brown-haired person?
It's supposed to be a light red. This is from the, oh god, what's her name? Windblade Rider. Fuck. I didn't read this era Batgirl. Like, I know the costume, I know the writer, because I always meant to check out this era, but I just never had the time. But yeah, this is an actual Batgirl costume and look that was in the comics for a minute, and I really hate it because of the open hair look. Like, it just, like, I know we all joke about capes being impractical and getting caught on things all the time, but like just having all that hair out there, I'm like, somebody's gonna grab her by the back of the head and knock her on her ass at some point.
We got some Joker from Greg Capullo. Oh God.
This is the one of the Death of the Family covers, I think, or maybe Endgame.
Yeah, no, just that one picture just look overpainted. It looks overpainted in that. There it looks fine.
Mm-hmm. It's a look. It's not one of my favorite Joker looks. Not one of my favorite Joker stories.
It's fine for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good looking statue though. It captures it. But we got a DC animated. We got the animated Joker.
Look at that boy. Look at that big goofy boy.
Look at that boy, he'll kill you. We also got a black and white Batman.
Because you can never have enough of those.
Yeah. It's a good Batman. He's telling you to smell his armpit.
Just put on some Axe body spray, I guess.
Yeah. They look fine, but I have problems with each of them.
Yeah, and I'm just generally not a statue person, so I don't think I'll ever own any of these.
Fuck. Here's probably the first DC multiverse figure I would ever buy.
Mm-hmm.
We got Deadman.
And they did the most fucking perfect marketing thing. They revealed this on Halloween Day.
Look at that boy!
I think this is like a reuse of the base body for Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, but it looks so appropriate, and the new pieces just make it. It is like I've talked before. I have a very mixed relationship with DC Multiverse, and I guess we'll talk more about that in a minute. But like this is a home run in my opinion. This just looks like a perfect classic Deadman figure. Though it is a bit annoying. It's going to be a gold label Target exclusive.
But still, it's a good... I don't know why I love Deadman. I like the fucking weirdos of DC. I like John Jones. I like Plastic Man. I like Deadman.
And like all those guys, I'm always happy to see them when they show up, but like I rarely get into their solo stories.
I need to read Ragman.
Yeah, I did read a couple issues of the latest Ragman series, which was like just post Rebirth. I think you'd enjoy that.
But yeah, Deadman. It looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl and Dr. Fate joined the Injustice 7-page puncher people. Look at these guys.
Wow, Todd. You finally did it. You finally made a Supergirl figure. And you literally went for one of the worst costume choices you could have possibly make. Tell me how you really feel, buddy.
Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to
I'm upset, man. I'm fucking mad. I was expecting us to get like Todd likes going for current stuff, and he likes going for like big artist inspired looks. I was really, really expecting to get a Woman of Tomorrow figure from Todd. But no, he makes Injustice, which is probably the second worst Supergirl costume of all time, in my opinion, because it's literally just that the pants costume that I've complained about a couple of times, but with a bunch of extra unnecessary early MCU, we have to make it look realistic style details that I always hate when they're put on a Supergirl costume. Also, she has no characterization in the actual story of the Injustice game. She is literally just there to be a fighter. Because the fucking... I don't know. They just didn't do anything with her in the comics or the story of the games. So fuck this figure, fuck this choice, and, fuck you right back you for doing this, Todd.
I just have not been really invested in anything that the Realm has done. Like, I don't get I can understand the appeal of Mortal Kombat. It's just not for me. Alright, on to the next thing. DC Multiverse Flashpoint Aquaman Build-A-Wave revealed.
Yeah, speaking of stupid bullshit, here's, I can't believe it's not Nuke.
It's so slow, yeah. It's Flashpoint Aquaman.
Do you like Flashpoint? Are you a fucking weirdo? Here.
And Hush Batman.
Okay, that's fair. Hush Batman is widely considered to be an iconic story and look for the character, and like most people like the gray and blue sort of style Batman costume. I'm much more of a gray and black kind of guy. But this look has its fans, and it's not like this line hasn't made a lot of really solid Batman figures, so I'm sure this one will go over well.
Here's the thing: they make more McFarlane makes more.
You stole Flashpoint that I turned 15. Fucking Chad comment there, Buster. Way to go.
Here's the thing. I gotta, like... I think Multiverse makes more Batman figures than Marvel Legends has ever made fucking Spider-Man figures, and that's fucking saying something.
I think it might be, like, tied at this point. I think Multiverse Batmans might just about to be overtaking the Legends Spider-Mans. I don't know. I'd have to run the numbers, but it's
Because we
probably
only
pretty
get, like,
close.
2 Spider-Man a year.
There's been 5 I could name in the last year, though.
Yeah. But would you consider them different Spider-Man if they're different characters? Like, I wouldn't consider Toei Spider-Man Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
Fair enough, you can excuse him, but like we've still gotten quite a few Peter Parkers this year because
True.
you had the retro wave that came out at the start of the year, which had 2 Peter Parkers and a Ben Riley in it. You had
Why don't I make a better comparison then? You don't have a Spider-Man in nearly every single wave of Marvel Legends.
yeah, but that's because Marvel Legends is much better about having like actual solid waves. DC Multiverse just kind of like as soon as the figure's done, get it on the shelves.
Yeah.
Marvel Legends is much more about like planning a wave and theming it around like a family of characters and a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah. There's a theme behind it.
Like you'll get a Spider-Man wave, then you'll get an MCU wave, then you'll get an Avengers wave, then you'll get an X-Men wave, then they'll wash their hands and repeat the process.
And sometimes they'll throw in like a magic wave or like here's some fun little C and D listers that are like fan favorites and popular.
Mm-hmm. Here's a box set of randos that's Amazon exclusive because that's the only way we could get them out.
But we know some people want them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all for the news. Time to talk about comics. Are you ready to talk about comics?
Well, that depends. Am I going to talk about comics or I'm going to sit here and listen to you talk about comics for a minute?
For a minute at the start.
Okay.
Modular favorites wave. Ooh, Modular Media Legends wave.
If it means I finally get Nadia Van Dyne, sure.
Okay, so Nadia Van Dyne, I'd say Sleepwalker.
We already have Sleepwalker.
Okay, yeah, we don't need a new Sleepwalker.
Yeah, we just got him earlier this year.
Then I would say, you know who'd be fun to have as a figure? And here's the pie in the sky, and you have to give him a lot of accessories.
Mm-hmm.
The Tinkerer.
Yeah? Well, you have several bodies that you could just slap a head on and say that's the Tinkerer. So.
Yeah. That'd be neat. I would say...
What's a Hulk character we don't have yet so we can make Cody happy?
I don't know. Ooh. Devil Hulk and Immortal Hulk.
Immortal Hulk, how different looking are Devil and Immortal Hulk?
Okay, Devil Hulk is like the Immortal Hulk, but like he's also called the Devil Hulk. It's the big Hulk.
So could you have it be a Build-A-Figure with just like some swappable parts?
Yeah, because ultimately the biggest difference is he has a different vibe in his face, and he's proportioned a little differently.
All right, so there's usually 6 figures in a wave.
Like the best way to think about it is like Devil Hulk is in between Professor Hulk, very human proportioned face, and the big guy who's like Hulk smash, who has a very pronounced brow ridge and it's a very squat fucking Jack Kirby face, you know?
Okay.
So it's somewhere in between them.
Okay, but I'm trying to think here. A Marvel Legends wave is usually 6 figures plus a Build-A-Figure. So we got the Build-A-Figure and we've got 2 regular figures so far. Buster, you put 2 choices in the chat and we each get 1 more.
70s Disco Beyonder.
Yes. And you know what? I'm gonna another easy. All you have to do is repaint an existing body. Give me the Spot.
Ooh, yeah. You don't even have to sculpt a face.
You can literally just take that Zero figure they just put out and put more spots of black on him.
And if we don't do Gwenpool Leopardon, not bad.
We already have a Gwenpool, but she's several years old at this point, so they could justify doing a new one. Leopardon, you'd have to do as like a HasLab, though.
If you want it to be in scale, if you just wanted to be like a 6-inch figure, sure.
Fair enough, yeah.
What was I about to say?
Give me a Leopardon that's the size of a deluxe class
New Warpath,
Transformer.
new Thunderbird, the new Thunderbird.
Yes, in the new costume.
In
Let's
the new
go.
costume, new Thunderbird. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Take one of the guys out. Use it, whatever. Hey, guess what? Speaking of Thunderbird, X-Men Red issue number 8.
Hey, how was that? I didn't have time to read
it. This is basically everything is ramping up, and all the side stuff that's been going on, because this does not feature Storm, Magneto, and like any of the major characters we've been following in X-Men Red. It doesn't follow them. This is all the side things that's been going on, and it's turning on to a boiling point.
Okay. Well, hello. Did you want to hear about the X-Men?
So, diplomatic mission is going on. Diplomatic things are going on, and basically, Abigail Brand's whole thing she's doing, is to destabilize the intergalactic politics to cement Soul's place and power so they don't get steamrolled. But she's doing it through underhanded evil means. Even so far as like basically saying like, yeah, no, I kind of got back together with Beast to make it easier to fly under the radar. She's using Beast.
You know what? Fuck it. He deserves it at this point.
And also, hey, yeah, you know, Vulcan? How did Vulcan get back? Oh, Abigail Brand did that, so she can put him as the Emperor of the Shi'ar Empire as a puppet emperor.
So Vulcan is just the Joe Biden of the Marvel Universe right now.
Not really. But, like, it's just, like, a bunch of different things, and Cable and WizKid are just basically trying to stop Abigail. And gathering a team. So, yeah. It's good shit. I also read Savage Avengers number 7.
How's that going?
$20.99. It's not exact $20.99. It's a basically, like, what if $20.99, but also Terminator?
All right.
So they team up with $20.99 Punisher and fight Ultron and his army of Deathlocks. It's fine. It's fun. What it is a fun romp.
Yeah, this seems like goofy I'm playing with my action figures kind of stuff.
And like going like, oh hey, Conan the Barbarian. Oh look, Cloak and Dagger. We hadn't seen them in a while. Oh, look, we got a brand new Deathlock. Who is it? Oh, it's an alternate universe, Miles Morales. You know.
Oh, look, Daredevil Elektra is on the team because she's not doing enough right now.
It's just fun.
Yeah.
And they're roaming around the $20.99 era kind of stuff.
Have they run into Doom yet?
Oh my god.
Sir?
So they're trying to break into this place because, like, Black Knight's going, like, I can't find any time travel technology here because Deathlock's broke. I can't find any time travel technology in here. We gotta find someone who can take us back further into the past. Get us back to our right time. So they're breaking in to this citadel controlled by Ultron and trying to get deeper and deeper into it until you reach this one cell. Elektra busts it open and goes, Victor Von Doom, Regent of Latveria, you are now an Avenger.
Oh my god.
And he says, if it would mean getting out of here and ripping that robot's head off, I gladly accept.
How is everyone at Marvel right now good at writing Doom? How is that possible?
I don't know. It's a hard task to do. It's badass. Badass.
Is that just like how you apply for a job at Marvel right now? You have to write a short story about Doctor Doom.
Yeah, maybe. We both read Punisher #7.
Yeah, I finally jumped on this book because they put my boy Matt Murdock on the cover, and I'm weak like that. Uh, and I gotta admit, I enjoyed the flashbacks way more than I enjoyed the main story in this. Like, I'm really enjoying getting inside the head of Maria Castle. That's her
Mhm.
name, right?
Yeah.
Like learning, getting to know her as a character to me is much more interesting than Frank as a character, which is saying something because I am somebody who does like reading about the Punisher. Like, I don't think the Punisher's cool. I don't think he's a good guy with good ideas, but
No.
he's an interesting character.
And like, here's the thing. I've been reading some comments about this book of going like, oh, they're ruining Frank's character. He's supposed to love his family, and then the death pushed him over the edge. And I'm sitting here going like, no, this is showing you why it pushed him over the edge.
It's more so grounding him as a character, I think, and
Because
it's also, interestingly enough, taking inspiration from like side characters from the Netflix show, because that whole sleeping in a tent in the backyard thing, like, not only is that like a real thing that some veterans do, but like that was a subplot with a side character in the first season of the Netflix show. So when I saw that, I totally did the whole "I'm clapping because I know what that is" thing.
But basically, they're basically Aaron's recontextualizing the Punisher as a man who's basically has several layers of PTSD, whose family is finally able to start breaking that shell and get him on the path of healing, and then they're taken away from him.
It's it's the classic thing of you give me hope, and it's a fucking Doctor Who quote is what it is. You gave me hope and then you took it away. It's enough to make anyone dangerous. Imagine what it would do to me.
And it's just like, I cannot understand how people think this is ruining the Punisher. This is making the Punisher simultaneously more sympathetic and all the more like irredeemable. It's making him the Punisher.
Plus, it's giving him like god level powers that are making actual Marvel Universe gods scared enough to come and try and fight him.
Oh yeah, he needs to. Ares coming in and saying the Punisher needs to learn who his god is. It's just
I am definitely hooked and excited for the next issue of this.
Also, I love the whole Frank Castle going to confession and freaking the priest out enough.
Oh yeah, that's totally a thing that like, if that hadn't happened before, it should have happened a long time ago.
But also, I find it funny that like, okay, there it is.
Oh.
My mic cut out for a second.
Okay, all right. I was worried for a second or two.
That Frank Castle goes to confession, and then preeminent Catholic boy comes in and goes like, Frank, what are you doing, Frank?
That's their whole relationship, isn't it? It's just Matt showing up every couple months and going, Frank, what are you doing, Frank?
I'm doing a gotta red. You don't gotta do this. Nope, gotta.
This is the bad way though. And then Cap just walks by eating a bag of chips, going like, "You're both crazy."
And then Frank just goes, "I love you."
Fuck off.
That is genuinely the best thing, and that's man. If they bring that Punisher into the MCU, I would love to see his introduction, just him kneeling at a memorial for Captain America.
He should be best friends with John Walker. How has that not been a thing?
No, here's the thing. John Walker meets Frank Castle, not knowing anything, and they slowly become friends, and they're really good friends. And then, thunderbolts happen, and they're on the same team, and he goes like, whoa, what? I thought you were just a veteran Frank Castle. I'm the Punisher. You're the fucking Punisher?
Oh no, I've made yet another mistake. But yeah, no, that is something I saw going around this week. I didn't put it in the news because I couldn't find a reliable source, but apparently they are considering bringing John Barenfall into the main MCU at some point soon.
I mean, Cox is trying to do it. Cox is pulling for everyone.
Yeah, I would be down for everybody except Finn Jones coming back.
I don't mind Finn Jones coming back if they get him a good fight choreographer.
And they let the fucking Luke Cage writers write him, because the one episode of Luke Cage he's in, he's good, but everything else he's shit.
Yeah. I read Secret Invasion. I wonder what MCU property is going to be coming out soon, and they wanted to capitalize on it.
What? How many fucking Secret Invasions have there been now?
One. This is the second one. But they're not calling it 2. It's just like it's a new Secret Invasion.
Great. It's Secret Invasion open bracket 2020-22 close bracket. I love that kind of writing.
It's different though, because I think they're trying to make like it's 2 different factions of Skrulls fighting against each other. Because ultimately it's framed by Nick Fury Jr. I want to specify now because Nick Fury Sr. is back into play in the comics again. So Nick Fury Jr. Is dealing with things. He got a call that something might have been a Skrull. He goes and checks.
I mean, as stupid as that character name is, at least it's easier than saying Nick Fury, the one who looks like Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Nick Fury Jr. It's talking to Maria Hill, going like, no, it was a false alarm. It wasn't really a Skrull. I lied and said it might be a Skrull to kind of give the family a moment to like process their grief, that kind of thing. Because like a little white lie like that doesn't hurt them. And Maria Hill goes like, you're soft, Nick. And he goes like, yeah, I'm soft. And she starts saying this thing in a specific way, and he goes like, I'm fine. And she goes like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm fine. And she just pulls out a gun and goes, you're a fucking Skrull. That's a code phrase. We agreed on that in the S.H.I.E.L.D. days if Skrulls ever impersonated one of us. And he's just going like, whoa, what? S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't been around in years. What the fuck? And he's like, Nick Fury wouldn't forget that shit, though.
Damn, that's good writing, I gotta admit. Who is writing and drawing?
It's North and Mobili, so I don't know their first names.
Okay. Yeah, I don't recognize those names.
And basically, Maria Hill goes like, yeah, we figured out your plan already. We've captured a bunch of Nick Fury copies all around major American headquarters of like you see FBI, NSA, Homeland Security, Secret Security, Pentagon, all these different Nick Furies being arrested. And the Nick Fury in the cell transforms back into a Skrulls, is like, but you don't know if you got all sowing the seeds of doubt and everything. And Maria Hill goes like, shut the fuck up. You're just lying to make me fucking paranoid, you fucking asshole. We know your game. She calls the Avengers and goes like, hey, there's Skrulls. Keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure none of you are a Skrull, so we're good. Just keep an eye out. And the Avengers go like, all right, cool. And then Maria Hill goes into the bathroom and transforms into a Skrull and goes like, Jesus Christ, this is all fucked up. Which is so like it's either 2 different factions of Skrulls, or Maria Hill is like playing, or like that Skrull is playing deep undercover. Zach?
Yes.
Okay. So like that's a fun like last panel twist,
Yeah, but I would have rolled my eyes at that so hard.
You read The New Champion of Shazam.
So yeah, I have been enjoying this series quite a bit, but I gotta say this issue was definitely the weakest one so far, because it's just very tropey. It's a lot of stuff that like you see so often done, and there's like nothing super unique about it. Like fucking because Mary had an awkward press debut, there's a bunch of memes about her, and she's reading the comments, and they're not very nice, and that affects her work as Shazam. And then she goes to look for her parents again and finds out there's a bunch more missing people, and there's a secret homeless camp in the subways where people have been constantly going missing, and she's somehow surprised that the police aren't doing anything about that, even though Mary Marvel is somebody who ran away from home as a child and spent her entire adolescence growing up in the system, so you'd think she'd know how fucking homeless camps work. And then a supervillain who can manipulate how comments and stuff make you feel shows up and really fucks with her until she's able to get the better of him briefly. And because she has such a difficult day, she goes home, and Darla, the like overzealous younger sibling of the Shazam family, is trying to be helpful, but is doing it in that very excited younger sibling way. And because tropey storytelling dictates this, Mary's had a difficult day, so she explodes at Darla and doesn't realize that she's exploding until after she realizes she's already really scared Darla, and they have the kid runs up to their room and slams the door and won't open it kind of scene, and it's all shit I've seen before, and like I'm hoping the last issue will be good. It will be a logical wrap up to this story, because I have mostly enjoyed it so far. It's just this issue felt very predictable, and that was a bit of a letdown for me.
The way you're describing it sounds like it's an okay issue of an ongoing, not the third part of a mini.
Mm-hmm. Which is crazy, because like that all leads into the big setup for the final issue is Mary realizes who the kidnapper is. They don't say it here, but like I kind of have already guessed who it is, because there's been some seeding early on, and there's a scene in here where one of Mary's professors at her community college is very suspicious. But like right when she figures it out, all the other kids in the foster home are like, "Hey, has anybody seen Darla?" Darla went out to solve the crime herself in the middle of the night, so now they have to go save Darla because Darla doesn't have powers at the moment. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
All right. I read Above Snakes.
Issue
3.
How is it being above Snakes at the moment?
Basically, the Ghost Vulture guy fucking goes like, "Hey, I'm lonely. I would like a Ghost Vulture girlfriend." And the dude goes like, "Wait a second, don't vultures mate for life?" "Yeah. So wait, if you get hitched, I'm just free of you and I don't have to worry about you anymore? Fucking let's get you a girlfriend.
Let's get you laid."
So they find a fucking another ghost bird. The Ghost Vulture goes in and goes like, "Oh no! Be gentle, please!" And he runs out, and a giant ass bird 3 times his size is chasing him. And like, it's a ghost bird. It's a revenge bird. It shows up, but like the person who gets revenge for that bird shows up and goes like, "What the fuck are you trying to do? Why are you trying to get rid of my revenge bird? I want revenge. Stop it." And then our 2 heroes just look at each other and go like, "You okay?" "Yeah." "You want to go fucking get revenge?" "Yeah, let's do that." It's a fun little side. It's fun little like glimpses into their lives. This book is.
Oh, dope ass cover design too.
Oh yeah, good. It's good. You read Dark Knights of Steel, issue 8.
Dark Knights of Steel is finally back, and it's just as fucking weird as it always was.
I thought you liked it.
Oh no, I like it. It's just it's Tom Taylor writing an alternate DC universe, so it's knuckin' futz. Though this issue does open with a really charming scene of this universe's Green Arrow and Black Canary meeting for the first time in the L dungeons and planning their escape, or starting to. But Also, there's just like a bunch of tense sort of like we're almost going into the big final battle kind of stuff happening here, where like several times people try to be like, "Hey, let's think about this, let's calm down and talk to each other," and then somebody goes, "No, you fucking killed this person I care about. I didn't fucking kill. I saw you. I fucking blah 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 blah," and it explodes into an action scene for half a second. Uh, all ending in the big shock twist of Hippolyta tries to broker peace between the elves and the Kingdom of Storms, and then fucking Laura L just heat visions Hippolyta in half.
Oh,
That's the last page reveal of this issue, and then it's like a big panel of Wonder Woman screaming, "No, mother!" with the caption, "Next issue, war."
Mm.
It's like, yeah, that is exactly what I expected from this series when it came back. Just crazy, insane, high character drama bullshit.
Question: what if the twist isn't that they're L's, but they're Zods?
Yeah, that would be appropriate for this book. It would feel. I don't think there's anything other than like just general characterization to seed that, but like it wouldn't be a total shock.
I read Tiger Division #1.
Fuck is this?
This is South Korea's eminent superhero team.
Oh, okay.
They
So this is what all those tweets about BTS joining the military were.
no, they're in the military because military enlistment is mandatory in South Korea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like it's like introducing any other brand new superhero team to a brand new audience. It's just like, here's an adventure they're going on. Here's showcasing all their powers.
And most of these characters haven't appeared in anything yet, right? Like it's just the main guy who has.
No, all of these characters have appeared already.
Oh,
these
okay.
are existing characters. This is an existing team. This is just the first time they're getting their own book.
Wow. All right.
Okay. So basically, big adventure, and then our main leader, our Captain America type, Taegukji, I think is the way you pronounce it. It's a Korean word. It's the name of their flag, I think is, or like something related to their flag.
He's their Captain America Superman.
He's their Captain America. He's their Captain Britain. He's their Guardian. He's their, Red Guardian. He's so on and so forth. There's several flag-based, nationalistic, patriotic heroes in the Marvel Universe. This guy's the South Korean one. Basically he gets told by a ghost of like, hey, something bad is coming, and the only way to beat it is to be truthful and honest with your friends. You gotta come clean with something, and we don't know exactly what it is because we jump to a flashback during the Korean War of a woman wearing similar clothes to the ghost picking up a young boy, like a baby who is a survivor, and wrapping him up in a South Korean flag and taking care of him. And it's hinted like, oh, that might be who he is. All these kind of things. All the characters are fun and delightful. There's nobody annoying. They're all fun, cool characters with fun, unique power sets with fun, cool looks.
It's nice. Since I already brought them up, I have to ask, is there any name dropping of BTS in this? Is anyone a BTS fan on this team?
No, it does not dive into like the stereotypical idea of South Korea.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
White Fox is based off of a South Korean mythological creature, but like that's a common trope. You base mythical creatures,
Yeah. Real quick, from top to bottom on this cover here, who are the team members? What are their powers?
I don't remember their names specifically, but I can tell you their powers and kind of like their general character vibe. So top left is Taegukji. He's basically South Korean Captain America. Mm-hmm. He's a good guy. He tries hard. He wants to help people. But right now he has a secret he has to deal with. And it's To the right of him, I can't remember her name, but she's basically like generally nice person, ice powers.
Okay, from the size of the image, for some reason she looks like Monica Rambeau.
I can kind of see it. Then directly to the bottom of Taiguchi is a guy called Guardian. He is an ancient set of armor that's just alive and is just a friendly dude to kids.
So he's a golem.
He's a golem, but it's a very specific Korean concept of a golem. It's not like a Jewish golem.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like, think a little bit like Ben Grimm. He's a fun mascot character. He's big. He's strong. That kind of stuff.
Nice.
The guy to the right is, I can't remember what exactly his powers are, but he's a fun drunk uncle. That's his character.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, like, again, the characters all kind of, like, they do look distinct, but they also, like, each remind me of, like, certain characters I've already seen from this cover. And he weirdly kind of reminds me of John Constantine.
like, there's a little John Constantine. He's a little bit Gambit. He's just like, come on, let's party. I want some whiskey. What are we doing here? Let's go get drunk. But he actually fights and is not like an asshole or anything. To the bottom left of Guardian is Gunner 2, spelled GUN-R2.
Okay.
He's a robot. He's just a full-on sentient robot who's just fun and sassy.
Oh, sick. Nice. I love Data from Star Trek.
More sassy than Data.
Oh, okay.
Like, he's fun. Think more Johnny Storm.
By the way, while we're here, you see those Super 7 Star Trek Ultimates?
Mm-mm.
I'll show them to you when we're done. They look great.
To the bottom of Gunner is White Fox. She's been around for a while. I think she had a webtoon. She has the power of a Korean fox. Mythical creature.
Cool.
And to the right of her is called Auntie. Her original name is Auntie Auntie. I
think you've talked about her before.
Maybe. She has a newer name that's more superhero-like, but she still goes by Auntie Auntie. And she uses magic, but uses a specific Asian playing card as a motif.
Nice.
Also, she's apparently older than she looks, which might tie into Taiguchi's backstory. She's a hot aunt character. She looks hot.
Okay. I was gonna say she's not like 100-year-old lolly, is she?
No, she is like. Have you ever like read like a Korean webtoon and you just see the uber hot model fucking MILF character?
No, I'm gonna be honest. My most exposure to like Korean pop culture is probably Gangnam Style.
Okay, better comparison. She's like an Ara Oni-chan.
Okay.
She's like Ara, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can kind of get that vibe from the cover there.
Yeah. So fun characters, none of them are annoying. I'm going to keep reading Tiger Division. It seems fun.
Cool. I'll look forward to hearing you talk about it then.
Yeah. I also read Stillwater issue 3.
How's that going?
Guy tries to escape the town. They catch him and go like, nope, you're not escaping Immortalville. He talks to the doctor, he gets more exposition of the town. They don't need to eat, but they like to eat. And the way they get their meat is because the cows regenerate. They just cut the meat off the cow and let them regenerate. So they don't even give the cows anesthesia. It's just like, oh, I want a steak. Chop.
No.
Yeah, it's a little fucked up. The mom gets unburied. It's been 2 weeks. Mom gets unburied. And one of the deputies is watching the news. And the news is talking about how his friend has been missing for 2 weeks. Because he died in the first book.
And
he's apparently a famous novelist.
Oh.
And they killed him. So people are going to be looking.
Dude, I love Sutter Kane novels.
Yeah. It's good, so. It's a good book. Good book. You read Reckless, A Friend of the Devil.
Yeah, the second book in the Reckless series. I'm catching up. I think there's six presently, but I did read this one this week, and this is not as good as the first one, but still pretty enjoyable. It feels very much like a second episode of something, but also just kind of like a random episode of something because it's very much a sort of stock detective plot of while on a case, he meets this nice Taiwanese librarian who helps him look up some information, and they end up becoming an item, and then he being the main character, Ethan Reckless, finds out that she has a long missing stepsister and is like, well, I'm a private detective and I love you, so of course I'm going to try and solve this case. And it ends up taking him down a massive, crazy rabbit hole that leads to a satanic panic cult that's run by actual goddamn Nazis.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's a little knuck and futz, but it's still good in that kind of like enjoyably
Pulpy noir.
enjoyably pulpy noir, kind of sad detective story way.
Nice.
I am enjoying the series a lot so far. People should check it out.
I read Hulk number 10.
What is the latest crazy thing Donny Cates has unleashed upon the world?
Sadness.
Nice.
So Bruce Banner is just hanging out on this planet filled with Hulks, and he gets a backstory of like, oh yeah, no, we were like from a different dimension and we got thrown here. We don't remember anything, and so like for like years we just fought each other, and because technically Hulks are immortal now, we never died. So he just like beat up the planet we were on until like there was enough dust and air in the atmosphere that it made rings.
They literally just did the Cybertronian thing of we had a war for millions of years until we exhausted our planet's resources.
No, we had a war for millions of years, and that made resources because our blood fertilized the soil and made food, and then we were able to start a society.
All right.
And now they don't fight anymore because now they have like progressed past it and they're not filled with rage anymore. Until one day, their Gamma Sun shows the image of the Hulk, and they go like, oh shit. They all get like super like buffed up. They get more Hulk-like. They get horns and shit. And they start worshiping the Hulk like a deity. And then the Hulk shows up and they're like, oh my god, it's God. We understand that you didn't like create us, God, but like you're an important figure for us. We like look up to you. You're important to us. And Bruce Banner's going like, wow, this is okay. Okay.
It's like Jesus stumbles into a church, but the actual Jesus is just like a drunk uncle.
Yeah. So they start running tests on the Hulk, and because it's very much like, we know you're not a god. You're like one of us, but you're an inspiration to us. So they're running tests on it, and he goes like, wow, that thing was heavy. And they're like, heavy? Right.
What is this heavy you speak of?
Right. You guys don't have context because you're all super strong. Difficult to lift. Okay. That's an interesting concept. And then one of the scientists are going like, doctor, should we say something? And then Lady Hulk comes by with a tear in her eye, goes like, no, we shouldn't tell him.
Does Bruce Banner have cancer again?
Hold on a moment.
Okay.
They walk outside, and the Hulk goes like, I don't want to freak out your people. And she goes like, why would they freak out? They love you. And everyone's like, Hulk signs and like fucking Hulk plushies and everything. And one guy comes up and goes like, Mr. Hulk, it would be an honor if you would play the sports game with us. And it's like, why? What? And the lady that's been basically like the queen and escorting him around goes like, Oh, it's a coming of age ceremony. It's basically a way to like represent our past of rage filled monsters and get some of that energy out. And it's also like a way to let these young boys become men. You know, that kind of thing. It's like, oh, it's okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, no, I'll definitely join you because it's like it would be an honor to say I got to play the game against you. You know, it's very respectful. And then the Lady Hulk scientist walks up to her and she goes like, "Ma'am, should we tell him? No, we should not tell that Bruce Banner is dying and it's a brain scan and he has holes in his brain."
All right.
But basically, it's like, oh, they're trying to give him this planet is hospice care. They're going like, oh man, the Hulk is gonna die. Let's give him a good few days, you know. But it's good. It's good. It's a good issue. It's fun.
Nice.
We both read Deadpool.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stick with this one because like it's not bad. It's just not like my kind of humor.
Yeah, it's fair. And it's mostly just like this crazy villain just trying to regrow carnage in Deadpool's stomach.
Yeah, it's really just like one joke done in a bunch of different ways, and like the joke is not funny to me.
Yeah, fair enough. I do like the cover though.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great cover.
And it's the one time I will be okay with the word balloon on the cover.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you take away the whole like issue number little sidebar graphic there, that'd be a perfect Deadpool poster.
This one and Thunderbolts 2. Those two they are like better for having the word balloons.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about Deadpool?
No.
We both read Batman 129.
This issue again, like I get where Zdarsky is going, and I like it, but it does feel a bit like he's spinning his wheels with this one.
Yeah, it's also setting up some things and setting up like Aquaman's trust in Batman and like
I'm sure that will come back into play more heavily later in his run, but this feels like a little bit of setup and just more look how scary Failsafe is. And I'm like, I already got that. Can we just deal with him now?
Yeah. I like the idea that one of Batman's new villains is just how overprepared he is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. And I did enjoy the backup though. Like the backup has been consistently great. I love the idea of like Zur-En-Aw being a problem for Batman while dealing with regular problems. Like, oh no, he's taken over and the Joker is not prepared to deal with Zur-En-Aw.
No, I also really love the representation of Zur-En-Aw in the brain of basically the happy-go-lucky, brave and the bold guy going like, you should kill him! Murder! It's just funny.
It very much seems like a Boingo Rider gag, and it works in that way.
But yeah, no, Batman good.
Yeah, it's good, just like not as good as it has been this week.
Yeah.
Or month.
I read She-Hulk number 7.
Oh yeah, that's right. That book's still going. How is that?
She-Hulk and Jack of Hearts basically go like, so we're a thing now, right? Oh yeah, we're a thing. We're fucking regularly now. Sweet. I fucking loved your dick. I fucking loved your pussy.
Okay.
They didn't say it like that. You know what I mean.
I know. It's just fucking hell, man.
So basically just go like, yeah, no, I fucking enjoyed having sex with you. Cool. Let's continue doing this and grow our relationship. And it's a bunch of cute flirting. It's really fun and cute. And then She-Hulk is called away on a case that she probably needs to take up from Andy, the android. And she goes to the office, and who's there but Dr. Doom? And Andy,
okay.
And Vision's brother from Vision. Remember the guy who spied on him?
Oh yeah.
He got rebuilt.
All right, makes sense.
And that's not Dr. Doom. That's the Doombot who was on Avengers AI.
Oh my god.
who is a good guy. But because he's programmed by Dr. Doom, whenever anyone says, you are a Doombot, he has an involuntary reaction of saying, I am Doom. So, what happened is he has a parking ticket. And he's being tried for all the crimes of Dr. Doom. And she has to prove that he's not Dr. Doom.
That is such a perfect She-Hulk plot. I hate it.
Because he's just like, yeah, no, I like being a good guy. I like being Avenger. Yeah, we just gotta prove you're a Doombot. I am Doom! Sorry, that's involuntary.
Can't we just like go into your subroutines and like delete that line of code or something?
It's part of the kernel. No, it's good. Also, beautiful cover. Beautiful She-Hulk cover.
Oh yeah, the art for this series, both covers and interiors, has been fantastic. I just wasn't much getting into it because it felt like it wanted to do more slice of life stuff than I wanted
It's
to
a
see.
romance series.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why the covers all evoke classic Marvel romance comics.
Mm-hmm.
You read Gotham City, Year 1, Issue 2, by Tom King.
Yeah, and this series continues to be knuck and futz. It opens with the police just beating the fuck out of our main character, trying to get him to confess to murdering his own partner. Because if you remember, he was found dead at the end of the last issue. And like all the while in the narration, he's going, all in all, like this isn't a bad day interacting with the Gotham Police Department. And for as shitty as they are, they kept the city pretty safe. We had a lower rate than Metropolis, lower murder rate than Metropolis back then, if you can believe it. All the while, like he's just got like the biggest black eye in the world. And he then goes back to the Waynes, and they're like, well, you didn't say anything, did you? And he's like, of course I didn't fucking say anything. Now, what are we supposed to do next? And it's that he's supposed to take the money alone to go meet with the kidnapper and get the kid. And I forget his name, but the patriarch is just insistent that he is going with them, and he's gonna go rescue his Richard Wayne is his name. He's gonna go rescue his little girl, and all the while, like literally everyone, the two bodyguards, Constance and our main character, are just going like, this is a bad idea. They said the guy should come alone. You're gonna fuck it up. And he's like, no, I'm a man. I have to be the man. I have to blah, blah, blah. And wouldn't you know it, he goes and gets the whole thing fucked up and ends up getting practically killed at the end of the issue. I think he's still alive, but he's basically gotten the shit beat out of him, and they're nowhere closer to getting the kid back than they were at the start of the issue. And it's still a little depressing and a little crazy and a little like classic detective noir story that is exactly what Tom King specializes in telling. So like, if you like Tom King's writing, you will enjoy this. If you're one of those people who just hates him on principle, then fucking stay far away from this, because it is knuck and futz.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I read Black Panther.
What's happening in Black Panther?
So this organization fucking takes control of all the major data centers and control the internet and basically go like, hey, you get internet if you fucking stop your bullshit. If you keep if there is peace, you get internet. And everyone goes like, fuck you, why are you doing this? Attacks, and they just get destroyed. Every single one of them. The Avengers get destroyed. American military gets destroyed.
Seems legit.
And Black Panther goes like, all right, and he fucking does some things and gets invited into one of the centers to meet the leader, and the leader like unmasked, and it's someone for Black Panther's past, and he goes like, "Hey, yo, T'Challa, I did this all for you because you want peace, right? Hey, this way we don't have to kill anybody, we don't have to do anything, we just peace now." And Black Panther's going like, "Fuck, I agree with you, but not like this."
You're still strong-arming people. You're still withholding resources.
And that's
This
Captain
is-
America's whole reason for being against it, while T'Challa was being like, they got a point though. Yeah, but they're forcing anybody. It's not by choice.
Yeah.
And it ends there.
All right. Seems like classic Black Panther storytelling to me.
Yep. Is that it? That's the last comic.
Way.
Hey! It's only a 2-hour podcast. Fucking short for us.
Yeah. How about that?
Hey, Vac,
Hey.
tell the people about your shit.
Hey. It's pretty consistent at the moment. No odd colors. No blood. I'm going regularly. I think it's healthy at the moment.
Are you sure you want to end it on that joke?
No. Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make video essays about tokusatsu and stuff. You can find them at youtube.com/the Vacuuminator. I'm also on Twitter at the Vacuuminator and on Instagram at the _Vacuuminator, posting daily photos of action figure photography, except for today. I was really busy.
All right. Hey, howdy. Would you like to see a variety of Twitch streams? Twitch.tv/BoingoWriter. Would you like to see a variety of social media posts at Boingo_Writer on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram? Also, find me on YouTube at BoingoWriter. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. For this has been Modular Media's No Price Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. We also have other podcasts, including Components, where we talk random bullshit every week. And Twit. Tell the people about Twit.
This Week in Toku is where myself and Buster Corp discuss all the latest news and new releases from the wild world of Japanese special effects and henshin heroes.
Nice. And if you would like to see this and other podcasts, remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a like, give us a comment, do all the things. And until next time, Vac, do you have anything else you want to say?
Y'all better get hyped because we're about to get to the summit, baby!